Ebony.
Hi.
I'm Mary Beth. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for seeing me.
Sure. So, what brings you in today? What did you want to talk about?
Well, I'm not sure what I want to do after graduation. I'm just not really sure what path I want to take.
Okay.
Yeah, I just need help.
Okay. So you're trying to figure out maybe what to do with your major. Do you have a major that's declared? Are you thinking about something?
I'm thinking about social work.
Okay.
I'm not sure because I don't know exactly what direction I want to take it in. So I
see.
guess if I had a clear direction of what I wanted to do with it, then I would know for sure that that's what I want my major to be.
Okay. Well, let's try this. I'm going to use a creative form of expression. So I'm going to have you do a little bit of drawing. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I have a piece of paper here for you, and I have markers and colored pencils.
Okay.
And this can be as elaborate as you'd like. It can be stick figures. It could be words. It could be just a shade of color.
Okay.
This is just whatever you feel like. But I'm going to ask you a series of questions. And with these questions, I want you to really think about it, and I want you to draw and reflect what I'm asking you on this piece of paper.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's get started. All right, Ebony. So we're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do after you graduate and you're thinking about social work. So you want to have a career that you're passionate about, I'm assuming, and that you enjoy doing. Okay. Well, let's ask this. I want you to draw what the environment looks like to you.
Okay. So like the kind of setting I imagine?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
So, I mean, you can draw a desk, or you can draw a tree, or you can draw an office or a house, whatever you feel like.
Okay.
And there's no right or wrong answer.
My drawing is gonna be funny.
That's okay.
I think this is what I'm imagining. Can it be more than one place if
Definitely.
okay.
Yeah, because say you wanted to be a truck driver.
Let's
That would be, if you were delivering goods to different places across the country, that would be different places, so you can take this wherever you want it to go.
Alright.
It is your picture.
I think this is what I'm trying to portray.
Okay, that's fine.
More than one place.
Okay, so you're
Okay.
done with the first
Yeah.
question? Okay, that's great. Okay, does this place have any sounds? Does it sound like anything? Is it loud? Is it quiet? Is it tranquil?
Okay.
Computers buzzing around.
And so can I just write what
Yes.
it sounds like?
Yes.
Okay.
Use some vocabulary words and
Okay. Let's see. It's hard to
It is
sound.
hard. It is hard. And that's maybe, one of the reasons why you had to come here. Because
Yeah.
It's hard to really put all these things, into play.
When you actually sit down and think about
When
it.
you actually sit down and think about it. It takes
Okay.
some time.
Let's see.
in this environment with you? So that could mean, are you working alone? Do you have other coworkers? Are you part of a team? Are you servicing people? Are there other people that maybe don't work there, but that you're trying to help? Okay. What?
I guess the different colors represent different people. Okay.
That's wonderful.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that's
Okay. Now, is this place, is it inside or outside?
Is it okay if this picture is similar to the first one?
Sure.
Okay. Draw it down here.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay, now my last question. I want, it's not a question, I'd like you to draw yourself and maybe try to portray how you think you would feel in this environment that you've created on this piece of paper.
Okay.
Very good. So this is our finished product. Okay. So let's take a look here. All right. First of all, you've done very good work. So I commend you for doing this.
Thank you.
So let's, talk about the different components
Okay.
of this picture. So I first asked you about the environment. So can you tell me a little bit about what you drew?
When I think of like my ideal job, I don't want it to just be like, I want it to be like in the city, which is why I drew buildings,
Okay.
but I don't want it to just be in an office all day.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to not only work in an office, but be out in the community also.
Okay.
So that's why I drew the tree also.
Okay.
So that's the type of environment I envision.
So you want a little variety from what it
Mhm.
sounds like. You don't want to just sit behind a desk all day, or you don't want to sit in the same office space all day. Maybe
Right.
a little bit of going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure I'm getting what you're saying. Okay, let's see. The next question I asked, and you drew, is I said, what does it sound like? And so you wrote, you said quiet, social, and interactive.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about why you wrote those 3 words?
I do feel like it needs to be quiet, so people obviously can focus.
Mhm.
Social because I want to work with others.
Mhm.
So of course we need to be interactive and social and, bounce ideas off of each other and all of that. So I think that's why I wrote those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wanted a little bit quiet, so when you're
Mhm.
actually doing work, you're
Mhm.
not going to have a lot of things going on around you, but at the same time you want to have maybe be a part of the team and have that little bit of social chatter in the
Mhm.
background and have that, buzzing of conversation.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, very good. Let's see. Next, I asked you to draw who is there, and so I see two people down here and a person up here. Can you
Uh-huh.
describe that to me?
The two, like, boy and girl down here, because you asked, like, who I can see there.
Yeah.
And I want to work with inner city teens
Great.
with
Okay.
whatever job I do, so that's why I drew the boy and the girl. But like I also said previously, I want to be like part of a team, so I don't want it to just be me. I
Okay.
want it to be a couple of other people, like working collectively with the teens in the community and all that.
Great.
So yeah.
Very good. So you do have an age group. It sounds like you want to work with teenagers,
Mhm.
and then you want to maybe work in a city environment.
Mhm.
Okay. And then you also want to not just do it by yourself, but you want to have a group of people around you to really support you, and that you, like you mentioned earlier, bounce ideas off and really help these kids. Is
Mhm.
that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then so I drew, inside or outside. So you kind of reflected the same thing earlier. So
Mhm.
kind of the same idea about the environment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like have like an office space or like a center for the teens to come maybe.
Okay.
So that's why it could be quiet. So in case like after school or something, it should be
Mhm.
quiet for them to study. But then like for the social and interactive outside in the community, we can like go on trips or
Mm.
go places in the community or stuff like that. So that's
Very
why I do that.
good. Very good. So you really want to make sure it's interactive for them.
Mhm.
It's good for you to work in. It's good for them to maybe do work in, but then also it's good for you to get outside, and it's also
Mhm.
good for them to maybe do things and projects and
Mhm.
that sort of thing
Yeah.
outside. Okay, great. And then the last question I asked you is I said, draw yourself and how you would feel in this environment. And so here you are, and then you wrote the word happy.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, all of that right there, when I actually sit down and think about it, it's like my dream job, like just
Okay.
helping teens and helping them, about like understanding the value of education and just like giving them an escape,
Okay.
because I know how it can be in the inner city.
Okay.
So I know sometimes you can't focus at home and your friends want you to do this and that, and sometimes you just need a place to go
Mhm.
and focus and maybe get away from all the other peer pressure and stuff.
Mhm.
So I feel like being able to offer all of this to them would make me very,
Mhm.
very happy.
Oh, right. So, and I heard you say that you know how that's like to be like in the
Mhm.
city. So, have you grown up
Yes.
something similar?
Yes.
Okay.
So I experienced firsthand how it can be. So I guess that's why I really have a passion for this,
Mhm.
which is why I guess I was considering social work,
Okay.
thinking that maybe this could lead me into being able to do something like this.
Okay. Sounds very good. Well, let's talk about, do you see any patterns and themes in this drawing that you've done? What's the common theme? Helping. So that's kind of what you want to focus on in your future. You
Mhm.
want to be in a helping profession.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
see, that's good to know. That can help us narrow down, certain majors, like you're thinking about social work, which is
Mhm.
a great major to consider if you
Mhm.
want to help people. And then also you talked about the diverse environment, and that could really, offer you that opportunity to work with so many different people and then to interact with them.
Okay.
Did you discover anything new when you were drawing this? Was this stuff that you already knew, this is exactly what I want, or when you were drawing, did something new pop into your head?
I would have to say that for like the environment, it was kind of new.
Okay.
Because like when I never thought about what kind of environment I wanted to spend kind of like the rest of my life working
Yeah.
in. And then when I actually think about it, I don't want to sit in a desk all day.
Mhm.
I want to go out and be interactive and do different things. So
Mhm.
that was new to me because I never really thought that
Mhm.
mattered really.
Yeah, and that's really important when you're thinking about choosing a career because, like you said, you'll have a space that you'll be at for the majority of the time, and so you want to be happy and productive, like you
Mhm.
mentioned earlier. That's very important, and so you having an idea about what type of environment you want is very helpful for me and to you, because we can start to figure out and work on, you know, maybe figuring out a good place for you and a good goal for you to have as a career. So that's great. So now, how does this connect to your career plans? What do you think we're going to do with, now that you've come in, you came in here not sure about what you think, you know, you want to do after you graduate? What does this tell you?
Well, I guess it tells me that I would be happiest or most successful in a place where I can work with teams and help them, just help them with anything they need, really, and especially with education and stuff like that, and just providing a space for them to be able to focus on that. So I think I definitely now have a clearer understanding of exactly what I want to do and what type of work I want to do with whatever degree I get.
Okay. And I did hear you say education. Is that anything, teaching, is that on your mind at all, or on your radar, or is it?
Not necessarily being a teacher, but just helping them understand the importance of education.
Okay.
Just kind of like being a mentor, I guess.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
So now I think that we're thinking about social work, we're seeing about all the different environments and what exactly you want out of a career, and you want to be happy in your job, and you want to have a diverse environment. I think that definitely helps us, because, you know, if you had put up here that, you know, you want, your hand had money in the hand, you want to make a lot of money and be happy. Well, we may steer somewhere different than social work, because really the people that go into it, they don't go into it for the money. They really go into it for the fulfillment of helping others. So I know that seems like the most important thing to you, is you want to be happy because you want to feel fulfilled by working with teams. Is that, am I picking that up? Okay, great. So I think now what we should do is we should maybe get you in touch with someone in the social work department. I think it would be a really great idea for us to maybe find someone for you to shadow in that field. That's a really good way, especially if you don't have time to do an internship necessarily. You might could go to someone's office and you might could sit down and do an informational interview with them and just kind of talk about what's your typical day. Because if you go to maybe a certain a social worker that works at a hospital, that social worker's day might be completely different than a social worker that maybe works for the county in the health department. So I think it's good for us to maybe make some of those plans, because that'll give you an idea, because that'll say, that's exactly what I want to do, or it can say, that is not what I want to do, and that is fine, and that's perfectly okay, because it's your life and you want to make sure that you have the best career that really helps you and fulfills you. So I think maybe if we could work on maybe finding some contacts for you to do that, look at the social work program, look at the class requirements, and see what we should do about that. And I think we're on the right track. What about you?
Yeah, I think I have a better understanding. I'm so glad I came in today.
Very good. Well, it was very nice meeting you, Ebony.
It was nice to meet you too.
Thank you.